Hello, hello, hello. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm looking all over the place, so forgive me. Got a couple of things going on around me at the moment. All right. Let me give you guys just a second to come in. I'm going to share this out in my group. Oh, excuse me. All right. Uh, all right. Done. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Hello, everybody. Say hello. Let me know you're here if you don't mind. I'd appreciate it. All right. Hello, hello, hello. I am live. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Hope everybody is doing well. I'm going live in a couple of places here on Facebook and then also on YouTube. So, hello to those of you on YouTube who may be watching. I appreciate you for stopping in. All right. Good evening, everybody. If you would say hello, let me know you're here. And also share this out. I am sharing some really great information to those of you who are aspiring authors, or those of you who may be authors and maybe you've already used a publishing company and now you're thinking about going the self publishing route, or if you are in ministry or business and you have a desire to write a book and learn how to self-publish that book to leverage your income, your influence, and your impact, then you're in the right place. So I want you to take a moment, say hello, let me know you're here. As you come in, introduce yourself. Let me know where you're from. I always love to connect with others um, from here and far. And then also, if you would share this out, maybe even tag another author, aspiring author. Hey, Tiffany in Alabama. Hey there, girl. How are you? Good to see you. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for everybody who takes the time to stop in and to join me. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing this out tonight. All right, I'm not going to prolong your time. We're roughly 5 minutes in, and I am committed to giving you this information in roughly 30 minutes. I don't want to take any longer than that. It don't take all day to give you what you need, right? So I wanted to share this information with you tonight. We are in part two of my self-publishing blueprint. Typically, I do this particular training in the form of a workshop or Zoom meeting, if you will. I've charged before, but lately, God has impressed upon my heart to give away this information, add value to others, and to be able to help you and support those of you who are just starting out in this author's journey, help support all of you in being able to successfully um, get your book self-published, and then learn how to promote your book. And so that is what one of the many things that I do as a mindset business coach. Let me go ahead and stop for a moment. And I don't want to assume that you, if you're watching me, that you know exactly who I am. My name is Candace B. Woods. I deem myself the mindset architect, and I have the pleasure of helping kingdom entrepreneurs and servant leaders design, plan, and develop a compelling vision for their life and their businesses. Many of the people who start with me are startups, right? They're just getting started. They know that they have have a greater purpose and calling on their life. And so they seek out help to help them get unstuck, to eliminate limited beliefs, to begin to hone in on their purpose and their gifting, and then learn how to use that in the marketplace. Learn how to connect and build rapport and relationship with others. And so, a lot of times, if you are assigned to the marketplace and you're assigned to the kingdom to be able to use your pain for purpose, a lot of times we struggle with being able to do that. So I help you get unstuck, and I help you also to learn how to develop a vision and a plan moving forward for your life and your business. And so I love what I do. I absolutely love getting up in the morning and getting started and getting going. And it is truly a pleasure to be able to help others in their entrepreneurial journey. So before I go any further, I just want to invite you to take a moment to go to my website. And you can go right now and download the implementation guide that I created that goes along with this particular series. I was talking to a girlfriend last night, and she's also a client and accountability partner. And she said, Candace, I can't believe you gave that away. Like you're giving them everything that they need to be successful in self-publishing. And so she was like, I thought for a minute you were going to charge for it. And I said, no, I'm not going to charge for it. I'm just going to share that process. And so I've taken the time, you guys, to create an implementation guide that goes along with this particular 4-part series. And it gives you all of the details. It gives you assistance with helping you develop your vision, which is what we talked about on last night, right? Part 1 was all about vision. And so when you're talking about or thinking about your vision for your book, you want to hone in on and have a sense of direction. After I write the book, this is the question that it helps you to ask yourself. After I write the book, then what? What am I going to do with the book, right? Am I just going to just stick with this book and just say, okay, I've done it, I've finished it, I've accomplished my goal of becoming an author and I'm good, Or are you going to market the book? Are you going to use it to leverage yourself in business? Are you going to continue business moving forward? If so, how are you going to continue in business? Are you just going to continue to write a series of books and just establish yourself and your brand as an author? Or are you going to consider using another platform of sense as far as being a coach or being a motivational speaker or facilitator or influencer? Are you going to take that approach and then learn how to create other streams of income using your book as basically the tool or the resource that you can share with others to really begin to promote your services? And so whatever your vision may be, I'm cool with it. I just want you to be clear about that, and I want you to have a sense of direction moving forward. And so I talked to you about how you can begin to hone in on your vision moving forward. It also helps you to begin to identify who you are writing for, who your book is for, who is your target audience. That really helps you kind of get an idea about how you're going to brand yourself, right? So if I am writing a children's book, then do I want to establish myself as a children's book author? Or is there a call in my life to maybe go into ministry and to support and help youth? Do I want to consider coaching youth and becoming a youth coach or youth minister? How can you take this particular book and use it as a gateway or an entry into business, right? So that's important. You think about who, you think about your why, right, for wanting to do this, because many of us, we have bigger goals and bigger dreams and aspirations, and you may decide, you know what, I really want to leave my day job one day and I want to go into business full time. Now, as a mindset business coach, I can already tell you that's easier said than done. And many times when I'm working with my clients, clients, I tell them that I have to help them with their mindset first, because most times we come into business and we quit because we had unrealistic expectations, or because we weren't clear about, who we are, who we serve, and how we serve them. So I help you with all of that. And this is no different. This is no different. So I want you to hone in on your vision and have a sense of direction for what you want to do with your book. And so that's what I talked about last night. And so if you would go back, watch the replay from last night, and put hashtag replay in the comment to let me know that you were there, and that you found it useful and resourceful information. Okay. All right. So tonight, we're going to get into productivity. Once again, if you're coming in, say hello. I'd appreciate it. And then do me a favor and share this out with others. I'd appreciate it so much, and that would be very helpful to me. Tag an author, put their name in the chat. I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay. Okay, so that said, I want to take a moment, and I want to get into tonight's part two, tonight's information. Okay, tonight's information is all about productivity. Productivity. This is so important, so important, and probably one of the most important processes to this particular journey of becoming an author. You got to get the book done, right? So if you're going to become an author, you got to write a book. And so I'm going to give you just some basic productivity tips, 5 specifically, that I believe will be helpful to you in writing your book and getting the book out of your head and your heart and on paper. Okay? Getting the book out of your head and your heart and on paper. Okay. And so tonight I'm going to give you 5 productivity tips that's going to be helpful to you. If you would, go ahead, go to CandiceBWoods.com. If you haven't already, download the workbook, okay, the implementation guide, because this is going to help you, and you can actually follow along because these 5 tips are given to you in, let me go back and look, on page, let's see. They're given to you on page 6 of the implementation guide. Okay, 6 on the implementation guide. And so I'm going to go over these, and I'm going to share with you just some things that was helpful to me, things that have been helpful to others, and being able to avoid the quote unquote writer's block, right? But it's to develop habits, you guys, the discipline and the focus that is necessary to get the book from your head and your heart and on paper. Now, this is the thing. Most times, and I want to be, I guess, clear, I mostly help kingdom and Christian authors. Okay. And most of the time when I'm working with those, with my clients, they have a desire to write a devotional, to write a journal. They have a desire to, or create a journal / devotional, something kind of, that kind of gives, some type of ability for you to not only do a devotional or to do reading, but then also to do something interactive, right? Or to write out your thought processes. Sometimes they do a dual, book. Okay. And then others, they do memoirs, they do how-to books or guides. They do Bible study plans, right? And so they put it into a book format, because many of them have ministries or businesses, or have a desire to start a business, and they want to share that particular information. Okay. And so one of the things that I share with them often is that if you are a believer and you're writing a book, then your book, I'm just going to say it, your book, you need to consult with God. You need to spend some time, some one-on-one time with God, to hear from him, to heed his instructions so that you can be able to share what it is that he gives you to share. Okay. But even beyond that, if you are an author, whether you're a believer or not, these productivity tips can help you as well. All right. So I want you to take a moment. If you've already downloaded the implementation guide, you're on page 6 of the implementation guide. If not, that's okay. You can download it and print it later, and then you can just take notes tonight. Okay. So just take some notes, because you guys, I forgot to mention this on last night. I'm not going to save this here on my page. I'm actually going to delete it on Friday. Okay. And so I want you to take heed to this information. I want you to get as much as you can, glean as much as you can, write it down, take notes, because I'm giving you everything that you need to be successful as an author. Okay, so productivity. Let's go with number 1. Productivity tip number 1: write often, read even more. Write often, read even more. Okay, so when you are writing, you need to write as often as you possibly can. Now, I know many of us are busy people. We wear many hats. We have a full-time job. We have children. We have friends. We have significant others. We got to do the grocery shopping. We got to do all this other stuff, And so it's difficult or challenging to make time to write. I would encourage you to write as often as you possibly can. Okay. And this is the other part of that. If you spend, one-on-one time with God, if you read your devotional, if you do worship, spend time in worship, on a daily basis, this is something you can incorporate into what you already do on a daily basis, and so making time to write, whether it is during the moments when you're spending time with God, when you're hearing, when you heed his instructions. Again, if you are a Christian author and you are writing something that is biblically based, that is the best time to write, when you are spending one-on-one time with God, when you're sharing, you're hearing from him, when you're in worship with him. He will give you everything that you need to successfully write your book. And so we definitely need to be consulted with him, and definitely need to have a sense of, what is God saying to me? What does God want me to say in this book? Okay. And so write often, read even more. One of the best things that I could have done when writing my book was spending some time reading other material that aligned with the core theme of my book. Right. And so my book is called While I Wait. Do I have a copy? I do. Okay. This is my book. It's called While I Wait. You can still get a copy, by the way. If you want a copy, let me know in the chat. All right. And so my While I Wait is an inspirational guide to purpose for the single and single again. Okay. And so this book is actually a book for single and divorced women, to help them understand the significance of finding their purpose while they're in their waiting season, while they are, taking some time in their single season, to grow and to learn who they are, to find their true identity. This is a good time. It's important to find your purpose before you get married. And so for many of you, if you're like me, you didn't take the time to do that before you got married the first time. And so now you're learning from that, and you want to just take some time to get to know yourself. Well, I found that an important discussion. And so what I did was I shared my own experience of how I began to find my purpose after my divorce. But then I also took some time to read other content and material about finding your purpose, about being single, about being divorced. And all of them were Christian based, simply because I am a Christian based author. Okay. And so I took some time to read other content. I took some time. There was a book, I think it was called Why Do I Want to Get Married? And it was I can't remember the author's name at the moment, but it was a really great book that I got. I got a recommendation from a good friend of mine, and he and his partner at the time, his girlfriend, had been dating for quite some time, and they were trying to decide if they should take the next step to get married. And so they took the book, and they had been given the book as a recommendation from someone that they were in counseling with, and that individual encouraged them to read the book and to actually have the discussion so that they could decide if they wanted to take their relationship to the next level. Okay. And so although I was not with someone, a significant other, I still wanted to read the book because I found it very interesting. And I read the book, and I was even able to use those the book and some inspiration from the book in my own book. Okay. And I referenced it. I made sure that I referenced the book in the back of my book so that other people would know that this was not my content. This is not my material. I'm not trying to take anybody's work, right? And so I'm not trying to plagiarize. That's a big word. That's important, right? And so I wanted to make sure that I referenced the book appropriately. And so anyway, it's in here, right? And so I made sure that I did that. And so there were other things that I did as well. I love TD Jakes. He is someone that I admire greatly, right? And so for those of you who feel like, there are no mentors out there, there are mentors out there that you can follow. But I love TD Jakes. I love his daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts. I love other content from other individuals, but those were the main two that I was listening to at the time, and reading their content at the time. And there was a particular YouTube video where I heard TD Jakes talk about being single. And he used the story of Ruth and how she was found and all this stuff. And so I referenced that particular sermon in my book because it gave me it kind of triggered some writing, some thoughts for me, and I was able to use that in my writing. Okay. So you want to write often, read even more. Read content that is going to help you and that's going to be thought provoking and give you thoughts that you can write on and that you can utilize in your book. Okay. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, find a writing mentor or book model. Kind of goes hand in hand what I was just talking about. There are always mentors. Y'all, we have access to social media. We are now able to connect with people, like never before, right? You can watch Sarah Jakes Roberts. You can watch TD Jakes. You can watch Pastor Mike Todd. You can watch all of these people. Whereas before social media came about, you would have had to fly there or go to their workshops and their conferences in order to connect with them. Now, because of social media, we're able to connect with people. And there's absolutely no reason why you can say, I don't have a mentor. Mentors are just people who serve as models, right? Or examples. And you're able to, you may not be able to touch them physically, but you're able now to connect with them and to listen to them and be in their presence virtually. And so we can never make the excuse that we don't have a mentor. So find a writing mentor, okay? Find someone whose work you love the way that they maybe design their book. You love their content. You love how they hold discussions, or how they share or ask, are thought provoking. Find a book model. And I'm not saying be a copycat, but I'm also saying use them as a source of motivation or inspiration in moving forward with your book. Okay. I love to make sure that my books are, colorful, that they are professional looking, that is excellent. And so I wanted to make sure that I had a book that was designed, even though this is my second version of my book, because my first one, I didn't have myself on it, right? And so, and we'll talk about that tomorrow night. But anyway, find a writing mentor or book model. That's going to be very helpful to you. Okay. So find books that you love. Find books or mentors that have the same, platforms, or talk about the same content, and use them for inspiration. Okay. Use them for inspiration. All right. Number 3, find a writing accountability partner or a community. Okay. And so I have one specifically that I want to share with you all tonight. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat for you. All righty. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the chat for you. It's called Kingdom Destinypreneurs. That's my private Facebook group, you guys. It's free to join us. So before you start thinking I'm trying to sell you something, I'm not right now. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to use or share tools for success for you. And so you can go join my private Facebook group, which is where I have what I call productivity sessions or intentional writing sessions. Okay. And so we meet typically on first and third Sundays, sometimes even more than that. And we just write. We focus in on the task at hand, right? And so I set the atmosphere, I put on worship music, I pray, and then we just begin to write. We just allow Holy Spirit to speak to us and guide us, to give us what He will have us to say. And so we write during that time. We spend time writing. That's it. Spend time writing. I give you other exercises that's going to help you in your writing. You can even use that time to complete those exercises. I give you processing questions. For those of you who download the guide, there's a list of processing questions for you to follow. Let me give you the page. On page 5, processing moments. I give you questions that you can start answering, writing it out in your journal, or type it out. Go ahead and type it out in Microsoft Word. And then you can utilize that same information to even do your book description, which goes on the back of your book. It helps you to also begin to create marketing copy, or the content that you're going to use in your promotion of the book. Is going to help you with sometimes helping you to inspire what you're going to write in your introduction. So these questions help you along the way, and it gets you to go ahead and get your thoughts kind of going. You're processing these questions, you're getting it all out, and you're putting it on paper. And it's intentional because I want you to be able to use this same content in your book in some way. Okay. And so finding a writing accountability partner or a community where we are focused, we're disciplined, and I hold you accountable. You're able to set goals for yourself as far as like word count, or excuse me, numbers of pages that you want to write, setting deadlines and goals for, your draft to be done, your book to be finished, promoting your book, like what date is your book going to be released. I take you through that and I guide you through that process. And so it's important to be a part of these type of communities that's going to help you stay focused, that's going to help you be disciplined and help you gain good habits, so that you can be successful in completing your book. Or if you don't want to join a community, then find a writing accountability partner. Find somebody else who may be writing a book, and you guys work together. You hold each other accountable. You set times to check in with each other. You can also make sure that you exchange work with each other so that you can begin to help each other with the proofreading or what have you. So having an accountability partner is so helpful. And it's definitely something I'm very thankful for, because when I was writing my book, I was able to share with my accountability partners, and they were able to help me and give me feedback, even ask me questions, and offer me, something that will help inspire me, or give me thought provoking type questions to consider. All right. All right. So that's number 3. Number 4, embrace your emotions. They often can be used to give you direction. Okay. Um, Most of the authors that I work with, when they start working with me, they have fears. Okay. And some of the most common fears, or the primary fear is, I'm concerned about what people are going to say about my book. I'm going to tell some truths. I'm sharing my heart. I'm sharing my thoughts, and I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be rejected, right? That goes back to that mindset portion that I talk about all the time when it comes to starting business. That's why I'm a mindset business coach. I help you overcome those things. I help you get to the root of why you feel that way, why you think that way. Many of us operate from a place of lack. We have a lack mindset, a poverty mindset. And so some of us are afraid of success. What if this book is successful? What if I do well? Then people are going to expect more of me, and I don't want that responsibility. That happens a lot. It happened with me. And so that happens a lot with people. And so I want to help you embrace your emotions. I want to help you learn how to use your pain for purpose. I want to help you learn how to use everything that you've gone through to help inspire you and to ignite you and to give you the passion, and to help you even in sharing your perspective. Everything that you've gone through happened to you for a reason. Everything that happened to you happened on purpose for a purpose. And so now you have an opportunity to help somebody else. And so I want to help you to embrace your emotions. They can often be used for direction. How so, Candace? Let me tell you, right? If you're feeling a sense of concern, if you're going through, hey, Donna, good to see you. Thank you for joining me. If you're going through something and you're feeling these emotions, right? And you have these fears, you have these emotions, these things are, happening to you. First of all, God wants to heal you, right? And so when he gives you an instruction and it guides you and instructs you to write the book, the first person that he wants to heal is you. He's going to heal you before he heals others. He's going to use this book and this opportunity out of your obedience to help lead you to the healing that you need. I cannot tell you, when I wrote my book, okay, most people think that when I talk about divorce, that I'm actually talking about my divorce. Well, no, I mention it. I talk about the experience in a sense, but I talk about it from my perspective. I don't talk about it from the perspective of, what my ex did or didn't do, because that wasn't the point. My goal was to help individuals who were experiencing what I was experiencing, especially other women who were kind of on the other side of the divorce and trying to find out who they are. I never took the time to do that before I got married. I never took the time to figure out what my dreams and aspirations were. And so when I got a divorce, it was kind of like, okay, what do I do with myself now? And so I had to figure this stuff out. I had to go back to the basics, right? And go back to the beginning and say, you know what? These are all things I should have done before I got married. I should have took the time to think about what I wanted to do with my life. What are my dreams and aspirations? What's my purpose? Why did God take the time to create me? Why have I gone through some of the things that I've gone through? And who can I help? Who can I share my testimony with? Who can I encourage? And so ironically, God began to make sense of everything that I'd gone through writing this book. He helped me make sense of it all. And he took me back to my childhood. He took me back to when I was, abandoned by my father. He took me back to my parents' divorce and how that affected me and my brother. He took me back to a lot of things that had still, that was still hindering me and holding me back, and causing me to feel unworthy of love. And he began to show me through writing this book why I had to go through what I'd gone through. And it was because of my obedience in writing this book, that I began to get clarity and understanding about what my purpose really was. Because even in writing the book, I still questioned it. I still didn't know fully what God was doing, right? But I was just obedient and I walked it out. I remember I've always kind of had, up until God restored my relationship with my father, I'd always had this kind of, these unresolved issues with my father. And really and truly, God didn't fully heal me of that until maybe a year or two ago. Okay. And I struggled. And so my relationship with my father, and how that all played out was, it led to how I interacted in other relationships. And it was through this book and writing this book, I went to both my parents and I said, hey, God has given me, a story. He's given me, my testimony, and I really want to share it in a book. I'm writing this book. I'm led to write this book, but I'm going to have to talk about some things that was very hurtful, and I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to put your business out there, in a sense. Is it okay that I share this? And I got their permission. I got their blessing. My dad has gone on, gone to events with me where I've shared the book, and I've done. I was a speaker at a youth conference near Savannah. He was there for it all, and it was this process that began to help me with my healing. So I said all that to say, embrace your emotions. They can often be used for direction. My emotions and me being able to sit in silence with God and just allowing him to give me what to say in this book, and allowing him to share with me and to begin to take me back to certain aspects and points in my life that he began to make sense of. And as I began to write the book, God began to reveal to me my purpose. He began to reveal to me that he was going to use my pain for purpose. And because I struggled with my mindset, because I struggled with seeing myself through his eyes, because I struggled with feeling like I wasn't worthy, and because I struggled with limited beliefs, and stinking thinking and all this stuff, because I struggled with this, I knew firsthand how to help somebody else come out of that. And that's the thing. I said this before. God will never, he will never give you a vision that he will not equip you and give you everything that you need to be successful in it. And so if you would just take the time to be obedient, if God is giving you a book inside of you, place a book inside of you, if you would just take the time to be obedient, he will help you order your steps, and he will begin to show you why you've gone through some of the things that you've gone through. And I would encourage you to embrace your emotions through this process. I've had clients before when I was going through, coaching with them. And there were moments when I had certain clients and they would say, you know what, Candace, today was kind of tough because I had an emotional day and I was writing, and, it took me back and I cried through most of it. You guys, we have to stop running from and trying to avoid feeling. We got to stop doing that, because there's something God is trying to get to us, but we got to go through the process in order to get to it. And so we try to avoid it because we don't like feeling. We don't like feeling. Embrace your emotions. And this is a productivity tip. This is a productivity tip, because if you just take the time to sit in silence, just sit inside it, sit in quietness, right? And just take some time to really just reflect and think. I assure you, you will get the direction that you need, right? You'll be able to write and share your heart and share God's heart. You'll be able to really and truly establish your platform, because your pain and everything that you've gone through has equipped you to help other people. And I want us to really hold on to that and grab hold of that. So embrace your emotions, you guys. And I stayed on that a little bit longer than I intended, but I want you to understand how important it is. And then identify intentional writing time. Now, this is the thing about intentional writing time. You know, everybody is different, right? I'm a night owl, okay? And so I find that writing for me, I'm most able to do it and work well late at night. Okay? That's because for whatever reason, um things just start clicking for me, right? And I just find myself just kind of moving and going, and I'm able to do what I need to do, and I don't have any interruptions. I don't have any phone calls. I'm just able to be uninterrupted and to do my thing. Okay. Now you may be a morning person, so I want to encourage you, right at the time that you're going to be able, that you're going to be uninterrupted, and also at the time that you are most alive, right? That you are most energetic, that you have energy. Okay. Another thing that you can do is make sure that you are engaging in good habits that's going to help you with your energy level, that's going to help you think, right? My first life and business coach, she will always talk about the importance of drinking water, right? If you drink water at the beginning of the day, right, first thing in the morning, it helps you not only with just your digestive system and getting everything going, but it also helps you with your energy. Okay. And so that is something that I got to get back into, right? But it helps you with your energy, it helps you get yourself in focus. And so these are things that you can begin to think about. If you know that you're kind of sluggish in the mid-afternoon, or easily distracted, mid after, then don't write mid-afternoon. Write when you can get focused, and you're most disciplined, and you're most alert. Okay, so that's intentional writing time. And then also make sure you make your book a book project a priority. Okay, when can you make it a priority? Right, look at your schedule and plan time to write. If you know you're free mostly on Sundays, then I encourage you to join me over in Kingdom Destinypreneurs, because on first and third Sundays at 7 o'clock, we're doing our productivity sessions. We're writing, and we are focused in, right? Set the atmosphere. Make sure that it's comfortable. Sit in your favorite chair or sit in your favorite spot, right? Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you, I keep my phone and I have a voice recorder, so sometimes when I'm driving, I don't know why, but God gives me things to share or to write. He gives me ideas, and so I take my phone out and I put on the voice recorder and I record myself, and I take the thoughts that's in my head out and I put it in writing. I record it, right? And then also, consider starting a writing notebook. Okay, I have a business notebook that I have. I'm not going to grab it, but it's right over there. I have a business notebook that I have. I always write down different little things that come to mind. I have notes for my next book. I'm not sure when I'm going to actually complete the book, but I have notes for my next book in my notes section on my phone. So there are always ways to write down and to begin to get your thoughts out, right? If you are someone who does not like to type, right? There are transcription resources that I can share with you to help you to record your book on a voice record, and then you can actually upload it to get it transcribed, and somebody else can type it up for you. There's so many tools and tips that's going to help you with your productivity and help you get your book out of you. And so there are no excuses, people. No excuses. I have plenty of resources and tips for you. Once again, if you have not done so, I want you to go to CandiceBWoods.com, download that free implementation guide, because everything that I just shared with you tonight is right there in the implementation guide. Okay. So set some intentional time, you guys. Make sure that you write often and read even more. Find you a writing mentor or book model. Find an accountability partner or community of individuals who you can connect with, who can encourage you, who can answer your questions, who you can bounce ideas off of. And then, like Kingdom Destinypreneurs, which is my private Facebook group that you can join tonight. I placed it in the thread, and you will be able to connect with us, and we'll be able to support you in your author's journey, and make sure that you have some designated time and intention to be intentional about your writing. And then embrace your emotions, allow it to guide you and direct you into into who you're supposed to be, who you're assigned to, right? I cannot say this anymore. I mean, I can't say this enough, I guess I should say. The very thing that you're going through or have gone through, God can use that for purpose. He can use that to help you, guide you to who you are connected to, who you are assigned to. And so he's giving you everything that you need to be successful. And if we just take a moment to set aside our feelings about ourselves, to learn how to show ourselves compassion, forgive ourselves, we'll be able to really begin to hone in on our purpose, why God created you, why you had to go through what you've gone through, and He will help you establish your platform through this process. So embrace your emotions, and then finally identify intentional writing time, whether it's in the morning or late at night. Find a space. My girlfriend Donna, she's on here now. Donna has a prayer closet. And so when Donna really needs inspiration, she goes into her prayer closet. Maybe you can do the same thing. Maybe you can identify a prayer closet or a certain place in your living room, a certain chair, a certain area that you can use to just sit down and get focused and become and to become, to eliminate all your distractions. I have heard people, another friend of mine, she said, you know what? I had to take Facebook off of my phone. I took every app that was going to cause me to be distracted. I removed it from my phone. Maybe you need to set a timer, right? And just say, you know what, I'm going to set this timer and I'm just going to write whatever comes to mind. Whatever comes to mind, I'm just going to write. Maybe you want to set some time with an accountability partner, and you want to, say, hey, we're going to meet every week on Sunday evening, and we're going to plan our week. I'm going to plan out my week. I'm going to write this amount of pages every week, and then I'm going to make sure I report to you about it. So whatever it is that you need to do, hey Brandon, how are you? Whatever it is that you need to do in order to become productive, do that, but be intentional. Okay. All right. Okay. Last but not least, once again, I want you to go over to CandiceBWoods.com, download the implementation guide. Everything that I'm sharing with you all this week is going to be in that implementation guide. Okay. I've given you everything that you need to be successful, and even inviting you to my private Facebook group, Kingdom Destinypreneurs. This is where I'm going to be teaching you mindset. We're going to be going over how to become productive and how to develop effective habits, and how to begin to shift your mindset from being a consumer to a entrepreneur, right? And not just any entrepreneur, a kingdom entrepreneur, because we have to do things differently. Okay. We have to begin to make sure that we are operating from a place of integrity, and that we are led by God. God is our CEO. I say that all the time. He is our CEO. He is the leader. He's the one to give us instruction and vision. And so we need to connect with him to make sure that we are partnering with him to ensure that the vision that he has for us is the one that we follow through with. So that's the most important thing. All right. And so that's it. If you know that you are an aspiring author and you have a desire to write a book, and you not only want to write the book or self-publish the book, but you also know that you want to ensure that you learn how to navigate this space as an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, I want to invite you to join me over in the BIY Writers Lab. That is my group coaching program where I help you learn how to not only write and self-publish your book, but I also help you and teach you how to leverage your book to become and to leverage your book to increase your income, your impact, and your influence. Okay, and so I teach you the business of being an author. I teach you how to promote yourself. I teach you how to begin to get more visibility, get more eyes on you, how to use social media as a tool. I also teach you how to begin to establish other streams of income like coaching, not self-publishing, coaching, speaking, facilitating, and then consulting, whatever it is, mentoring, any type of service-based business that you want to take and begin to establish your platform. I help you with that as well. And so I want to invite you over into the Writers Lab. There's pre-recorded content already waiting for you there. I'm in transition right now to moving that into my other CRM, but the pre-recorded content will be available to you. You have access to an outline. You have access um, other resources. I help you with your book cover. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow night, right? I help you with your book cover, and I help you with your title. I help you with the content from beginning to end. I help give you a template so that you don't have to worry about how I'm actually going to make this look like a book. I help you with all of that. You have nothing to worry about. All you need to do is go ahead and join me, make your investment, and join me over in the Writers Lab. You can do so tonight by going to CandiceBWoods.com. Just go to my website and click on join the Writers Lab, and then all the information is right there for you there. All right. I hope this was helpful to you. Once again, if you would put a aspiring author in the chat, if you would. Let them know that this is information that's going to help them become successful in self-publishing their book. And then go ahead and share this out with others if you would. I would appreciate it because I really want to help support you in your journey to becoming an author. All right. All right. That's it. God bless you. God keep you. See you guys later. Bye-bye.